Alongside head Javelina women's golf coach Stefanie Gray, I'm Mark and Sarah for Javelina Athletics. And coach, your schedule is set for the spring of 2020. You've got 7 events, including the Lone Star Conference tournament. What is it that you were looking to accomplish? What were the kind of the goals you wanted to set for your team, putting together the schedule?
Well, I wanted to challenge them. I wanted to push them and, really see what we could get done before the conference championship. With the conference expansion, it's put a new dynamic into the tournament. With 18 teams, it's gonna be a tough task to win a conference title. So I wanted to make sure that we were seeing teams that were going to push us to be ready for that.
So many of these are events you guys have been to before over the course of the last few seasons. Is there an advantage to having events that your team is familiar with, courses that your team is familiar with?
There is. You kind of, especially for the juniors that have seen them twice already, it's kind of familiar. So they're comfortable with the golf course at this point. And then, you kind of learn the nuances of the facility. So you learn the greens and how things break. And so it just makes them more comfortable and more confident, I think, to play a course that they've seen before.
You mentioned the confidence that this team has going into events that they're familiar with. Talking to one of your student athletes at Madison Lake last week, we talked a lot about how the confidence of this team is a little bit higher than where it was in the past. Do you sense a kind of a more confident team, a team that's more confident in its ability to achieve and to play well than you did maybe over the course of the past few seasons?
I do. They've worked really, really hard, and I think that's where the source of the confidence is coming from. They've put in the time and the hours to improve and to gain that confidence. Confidence comes from performance, but it also comes from reps. You've got to put in the time to see the improvement, and they've done that. Especially Maddie, Abby, and Christina. My core 3 juniors. They've really put in a lot of time, especially around the greens. Coming in, that's what they really needed to work on. And once you kind of get the short game area around the greens, then it kind of relaxes you to be able to play the rest of the game. So they've definitely done that. And Rochelle has come a long way since I got here. She has gained a lot of confidence. She feels like she can go out and put a number up where, when I first got here, she didn't feel like that at all. So it's been really good to see them grow and to gain that confidence.
You start off with a couple of events, like we said, you guys are familiar with. You start off with the Jack Brown Invitational, then you have the Islander Classic. You guys go to UTRGV. You have a few events that are close that aren't 6 or 7 hours away. What is it about these events, other than location, obviously, that makes them appealing?
A lot of it's the golf courses. The golf courses are fair but tough, and so the weather conditions are good for us, South Texas. So it's, we're familiar with the weather and the conditions and the grasses. Once you get a little bit further north, sometimes the grass can be a little bit different. And so it's good for us to see courses that we are familiar with the grass and the terrain. They're not as hilly. They're a little bit flatter. So again, like I went, with the wind and the nuances of the greens, I think it's good for us to see something that we're more familiar with.
Do you feel like these events and these courses will put you guys in a good position to be ready to travel to Arlington come time for the LSC championships?
I do. We've got, like I said, these 3 first ones that are really going to prepare us to go north. We've got one at the end of March at Trophy Club that'll get us into the Dallas area. So that'll get us a little bit more prepared for this weather and the situation up there. So I think, and then we go to Arkansas, which that's a great golf course. It's hilly, and and it introduces a lot of different factors that we're not used to in South Texas, with different lies and things. So that'll get us ready for anything that we might see in Arlington.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck this season.
Yeah, thank you very much.